Hey guys, how are you? Okay, so this video is all about, so you want to be a medbed operator. What does it take? How to do it? How to get there? Okay, simple. Medbed operators are 5D. Not 4D, not 3D, 5D. Okay, so what does that mean? Medbed technology is 5D. Okay, which means to just start using it, basically using it, very basics, you need to be minimum 4D to use it. Okay, now I'm not talking about being treated, I'm talking about operating the bed itself, okay, as one of the staff members that will treat patients. Okay, so don't confuse the two, which everyone does. So you need to be a very minimum 4D just to begin touching it, using it, basically getting your feet wet. All right, to fully use it, you need to be 5D. And many people say, no, that's not true. Listen to what's being said, please. So many people just hear what they want and then make up the rest, and then everything, oh, Skye said that. No, I didn't. Please listen. Listen to understand, okay? Not listen to go and say something else. So, to fully use the med beds, as in operating them, you need to be 5D. Now, when I say fully, I mean consciously connect with the technology, okay? Consciously connect with it. Not pushing buttons, not, using a computer or whatever, but consciously connect with the bed. Now, that's fully using the med beds, fully operating the med beds, connecting to them consciously. For that, you need to be 5D. Okay. To press the buttons and use the computer and all of that, you need to be a minimum of 4D. Okay. If you are 3D, you ain't getting anywhere near it until you're 4D. You just won't. Okay. So let's go through the Ds. So when we talk 3D, 4D, 5D, we're talking about dimensional consciousness, which is a frequency, vibrational frequency. 3D, the frequency, you can tell someone's in 3D, they hate, they're in fear, they're in judgment, they're not trusting themselves, they're looking to others for guidance, they're looking to religion, they're believing the government, believing what they're told, not questioning anything, just being a follower, while judging and in fear and all of that. That's 3D. That's probably around 3/4 of the population, especially around me. Then we go to 4D. What's 4D? 4D is opening your mind, starting to question things, starting to listen to your intuition, starting to open your heart so you're not judging as much, you're not in as much fear, you can see a broader perspective. You're starting to see the positives where before you could only ever see the negatives. That's 4D. So you're opening your mind and your heart. 5D is you are your own guidance. You are solely responsible for yourself. Your heart is open. Even your worst enemies, you send love and compassion and you don't judge them. You listen to your higher self. You become the light within you. So instead of praying to God, you already know you are God, so there's no reason to pray. If you're asking for protection, you don't need to ask because you are the protection itself. So if you're asking Archangel Michael, please protect me, then you're still 3 and 4D. Because in 5D, you know that you are the protection itself, simply by your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. So they are very different vibrational frequencies, very different ways of life. So if we use the fish tank analogy, we're looking at 3D is a fish in the tank. Okay, swimming around, can only see what's around you. Can't see anything else except your immediate environment. 4D, you're still in the fish tank, but now you're actually on the top of the water, looking, on the side of the tank, looking in. So your perspective is much broader, but you can still see a lot more going on in that tank. 5D, you are outside the tank looking in, and you can see every rock, every crevice, you can see under every stone, you can see absolutely everything going on in that tank. Okay. In 3D, the fish are fighting. They're fighting for food. They're fighting for their favorite spot, swimming spot. They're just aggressive and fight for survival, basically. In 4D, they're the ones breaking up the fights, trying to keep the peace. So they're the fish that will go in and in the center and break up the fights. It's like, oh, stop it. What are you fighting over? There's nothing to fight for. Plenty of food, plenty of swimming space. Just, stop. In 5D, you're looking in the fish tank going, one day the children will get it. One day the fish will understand. Watching their growth is beautiful. Maybe if we put this here, this might start to encourage that young fish to go in that direction instead of over there causing fights. Okay, so you got 3D in the fish tank, can only see your immediate environment. 4D, the top of the glass on the side looking in, still a limited perspective because you can't see behind all the rocks and the plants and all of that, but you can still see a broader range of what's going on. And 5D, you can see everything in the fish tank. They are the differences. Okay, so if you are in the 3D, you're not getting anywhere near training to operate the beds yet. You will have to go through all that spiritual work, all that self-development work to get to 4D. Only then, when you're in 4D, a decent 4D, not just, I just stepped out of 3D, I still hate everyone and blah, 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 but a decent 4D, will you be allowed to begin working with the beds? Or training, not even working, but training with the beds. Okay, training to use them. If you're in 3D and want to work with the beds, when you get to your training, you will immediately be put in a spiritual development course. And only when you have truly done the work and made that step, made that jump to 4D, will you then start your medbed training. Not before, but only when you have made that jump. Now, you can't make that jump by having a dose of DMT. You can't make that jump by doing shrooms every couple of days. You actually have to do the work. There's no skipping. There's no taking shortcuts. You have to start getting out of judgment, getting out of fear, stepping into your own light, becoming your own guide, trusting your intuition, being a nice person, opening your heart, showing compassion instead of judgment, that kind of thing. You have to do the work to get there. If you don't, then you won't be doing any medbed training, and you will remain in the spiritual counselor training, the spiritual development training, until you do make that jump. If you choose not to, and those in charge believe that you don't want to make that jump, then you'll be cut from the course and you'll never become a medbed operator. It's that simple. Okay, so as you're going through your training, okay, now you're 4D. All right, let's say you're 4D now, at least. You start training to use the medbeds, to operate them. Okay, you're still doing your spiritual training because you're not quite there yet. Okay, now they want everyone eventually to be able to, or all the medbed operators, to all be able to connect with the bed consciously. Because what many people don't understand is this technology that is coming, medbeds and many other technologies, it is there to advance us as a race, as a species. It's not there just to heal us and make life easy. We have to step up to match the technology, So those who don't want to go into their consciousness will not be moving through to the 5D New Earth, because the 5D New Earth is all about the heart and the consciousness. So if you are 4D but don't want to do any more work on yourself, then you're not going to get there. You're not going to make it. It's that simple. As they say, the ending will not be for everyone, because it is all about the heart and consciousness. So if you choose not to go any further, then you're not, yes, you can still operate the beds by using the computer and keyboard and all this other fancy stuff, then you're still not 5D New Earth material, because 5D New Earth is all about heart and consciousness. And if you're not willing to go there, then you're not willing to go into 5D New Earth. You have to do the work. So when you are ready, so when you're spiritually ready, you've developed yourself, and you've done your medbed training to a satisfactory, which is a very high level, a very high standard, then you will be allowed to go into one of the medbed centres and work as a medbed operator, which also includes doing the scans and talking to people about their procedures and the pre-area, the preparation area, the post-procedure area, all of that. Plus you've done a bit of emergency training and all of this, because a medbed operator does it all. So you will see guts hanging out. You will see people coming in with, from a motor vehicle accident. You will have people on life support. You will have, gunshot victims. You will have stabbing victims. You will have animal attacks. All of that stuff. And you have to know how to take care of them. Really, by using the new technology. So your training for a medical professional, like a surgeon, may only be 1 weekend, because they've done all the self-development work already. That's just part of their life. And now, because they're already a surgeon, they don't have to learn about emergency procedures or emergency medicine. They don't have to learn how to move a patient that is on life support or with a severe spinal cord injury. They don't have to learn any of that. They already know it. All they need to learn is the technology itself. And that may actually be a weekend. Literally, 1 weekend. That's their training, done. For somebody who has zero experience or knowledge in healthcare, that training may be 4 or 5 years, because they haven't done any spiritual work, they haven't done any health work, they've done nothing. So that before they even get to the medbed centre to work as a medbed operator, they might have been in training for 5 years. Now, the length of training, the time, totally depends on your previous experience and knowledge, and how much effort you put into it, how serious you are. Now, when you have classes, if you don't turn up to a class without explanation, that will be looked upon very severely. If you don't turn up to class 3 times, that's it, you're cut. They just get rid of you. They don't have time for people wasting their time who's not taking it seriously. And it's the same with the spiritual counselling course as well. You don't turn up, you cut from the course. You don't hand in your assignments on time, you fail, you cut from the course. No second chances, you're just done. You get, on the 3rd time that happens throughout the course, you're cut. No matter how many years you've been there, you're done. Because they want people that are serious. They want people to elevate themselves. Not just go, oh, it's fancy technology, this is so cool, I want to be medbed operator, yoo-hoo. No, they want people actually serious. If you're not taking it seriously, you're cut. Plain and simple. Okay? So, if you are 3D and not willing to step out of judgment and hatred and abuse and fear out of religion and step into 4D, where you're opening your heart, you're opening your mind, you're seeing the positives, you're not judging people, or starting to learn to not judge people, catching yourself, and not abusing people, then you'll be able to start the medbed training. But if you're not willing to go any further, then they're probably not going to hire you or allow you into the training because you're not moving on. So it's really important, if you want anything to do with the med beds or healing centers, to work on yourself and do the work. And seriously, take it serious, because if you don't take your development of self seriously, then the 5D New Earth is not for you. You won't get there. Okay? Because it's only for the people who are truly willing to put in the work. And if you're not, then you're remaining right here. You won't have any part of the New Earth. And I don't say that to sound mean or nasty or judgmental. It just is. You have to do the work if you want something. And it's like if you want to be good at a sport. You have to put in the effort, the time and the effort to be good at that sport. If you don't, then you're not going to be any good at it. The same as, for example, being a lawyer, being a doctor, an accountant. If you don't put in the time and the study, you're not going to be very good, if one at all. 5D New Earth is no different. If you don't change your life so that every day your spiritual and self-development is part of your life, every day, regardless of any family members you have over, any situations you're in, it's no excuse to say, oh, well, I'm just going to be 3D for a while. I'm going to sit here with my friend and judge others because that's just what we do. When I finish and I leave my friend, then I'll be back to, all high vibe. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Moving into 5D is all about doing the work. It's all about making the effort. If you don't make the effort, you're not going to make it. It's that simple. Remember, you are your own critic and your own judge. Only you will judge you. So, and you won't be judging yourself with rose-colored glasses. You'll be judging yourself truthfully. Alright, now when it comes to medbed training, there is no registration fee. There is no list to get on yet. Okay? When the training does become available to everyone, then there'll probably be some kind of website. I don't know how they're going to do this, so please don't say, can you put me on a list, or how are we going to know? I don't know. Okay, but when it does become available, it will be free. Okay, you won't have to pay to be trained. Okay, no money will be exchanged. Alright, so just be aware of that. Okay, the scammers are saying there's a fee. There's not. There is no fee. Okay, training will be free. And I believe a large part of the training will be online, and also probably half online, half in person. So when you're getting towards the end of your training, it will probably all be in person. Okay, but for the beginning stages, most probably online. Alright, I'm not entirely sure about how they're going to do it, but they know, they just haven't informed me yet. So just be aware of that. Okay, if you're nasty and abusing people, don't bother applying, because you will be turned away very, very quickly. Alright, you'll probably get some email back saying, or message or letter or something, phone call back saying, sorry, you have not been accepted. Okay, and it's the same if you want to fund a medbed centre or work in a medbed centre. Okay, you will get that message back saying you have not been accepted. And then it's time to really look at yourself instead of hating on those that did not accept you. Okay, so really work on yourself. Okay, you need it. I need it. Everyone needs it. Okay, there's not one single person on this planet who does not need that. Alright, if you want to advance and you want to take part in the med beds, if you want to replicators and all this other new technology, you've got to do the work on yourself, or you're just not going to experience it. You just won't get it. Okay, it won't be part of your life, simply because you chose not to. Alright, everyone, take care and love you all. Bye.